What was your first car and what kind of trouble did you get into it with it?
My first car was I saved up all my money by working at McDonald's and other jobs, and I bought a Jeep Wrangler that was black. It was a soft top. It had like a canvas soft top. Um, and I love it. In terms of getting into trouble,
Nice.
I don't know if I'm gonna say.
It's It's been expunged from my record. That's all I can say.
Good luck
My
finding it.
my first car was a similar bright blue car to Harris's, but infinitely less valuable. It was a Volkswagen Polo, and there is actually a very serious rite of passage in Australia of when you get your red peas, you go to McDonald's and you go through the drive-through. So I didn't get too much trouble, but I got up to a lot of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Where
You-
Mia was working.
He's like, you're like back again? I'm like, yeah, the nugs.
Um, my first car was a '98 Mustang. It was the white soft top convertible. And I had that when I was in South Florida. So I the trouble I got in that was mainly with my dad when I wrecked the car twice. And those were not my fondest moments. And trying to
No.
explain that didn't go well.
Let's say my dad was a mechanic, so anytime I got into trouble with my car, he was the one to fix it, thankfully.
That's that seems like a great father. My dad
Yeah.
would be like, call someone else.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys have Motorheads, gearheads in your family, and what do you think they're going to think about the show when they see it?
My dad is definitely a gearhead.
Okay.
But I think my dad's he's the type of guy who watches a show and tries to pick apart. Like when we're talking about something, he'll be like, well, is that actually like, oh no, on the 1968 model, actually, what?
Yeah.
So I expect that response.
My dad's loves motorcycles, drives motorcycles, very into that. Um, Trying to make him not do that because it's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one of my best friends, Matt, just came back from a trip to Germany where he was like full sending it on the autobahn and stuff, and he's really into, F1 racing, and so I'm a little nervous to show him the show, but I back the riding and I back what we've done, because if you're going to make a car show, you got to put the right people first, and I think we've paid homage. Yeah.
I was gonna say there are some great, race themed stunts in this show. I know obviously the stunt people were the ones that did the majority of them, but what was it like to see that on set? And even I know Michael said he did some driving training, even though he wasn't the one, behind the wheel. Did you do anything to maybe get into that mindset?
Yeah, I actually took stunt training as well. I think Michael and I actually went to the same place, just different times.
Hmm.
It was a lot of fun. I was because I felt capable, not that I would have been nearly as good or safe as the actual stunt people, but because I felt capable, I felt very envious. And anytime that you up and then the green lash and you'd fake hit the gas, then you have to get out, watch the stunt guy hop in, and then they get to do the cool part. That was tough. That was tough, but they did a great job, and I'm very, very happy with how it turned out.
Josh or Mia?
I mean, I didn't do a lot of driving in the show, but I've always had huge respect for stunt people and us, especially after doing this show. Like this is so dangerous. Like what they were doing, like, I was like, this is like these guys really are out here risking their lives. Like it is
Yeah.
really wild seeing them in action. And I'm sure they're loving it, but I can't help but feel like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, I feel like we should be like, I don't know. I'm just like, it's very, very intense in real life watching it. Like, because you watch it in a show and you're like, whoa. And then you watch it in real life, you're like, oh, you're actually doing that. This isn't like
Right.
CGI.
It
Um,
takes the like layer away that
yeah,
separates you from it a bit.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Skeen was head of stunts, and he was just so amazing to work with. Like even you see a bit of in the trailer, a bit of fisticuffs as well, and it was just so fun working with him. How methodical and breaking this stuff down, and also it's very important as playing someone who's constantly behind the wheels to know where we are in the story. How confident is he when we have that hood shot? Why is he doing this? And so it was just sort of really fun to integrate the story with some really hectic car stuff.
Yeah. No, it looks good on screen.
Yeah.
And like I said before, this does feel like kind of a mix of OC, Fast and Furious. I'm curious, as someone who is a fan of both, what were maybe like your favorite one high school dramas maybe that you watched growing up, and then like action films?
Mm.
Well, one of my favorite things to watch during high school, which I think is, has one of the most iconic love triangles of all time, I think I feel confident saying, is The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, I was gonna say that too.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
Oh my,
Yeah.
that show had me in a chokehold. Still does. It holds up.
I'm copying the same answer. Yeah,
Mm.
Vampire Diaries, which is honestly funny because when I read,
So working with Natalie must have been fun.
yes,
Yeah.
I never actually picked her brain about that, but
Yeah.
You gotta.
Oh.
And then what was like your high school experience like for you guys? Were you more like the popular kids or more like the outcasts
Yeah.
or had a little bit more trouble?
My high school experience was very much centered around the fact that I had four brothers at the school with me. And it was sort of like
Ooh.
before I walked into a classroom, depending on which older sibling the teacher would then treat me as if, because one was really sporty, one was smart. So depending on which room I was in, dictated how I'd be treated. Um, but it was definitely a vibe because you couldn't really escape that fact and sort of curate your own identity in a way. It was sort of a legacy
Mm.
part of that sort of clan. So that was my high school experience.
My high school experience, I went to high school in a small rural town in Australia, kind of, I guess, similar to in this show. But I also went to school with my siblings, and I spent a lot of time with my sister. We would honestly, I mean, my sister and I are like best friends, like now we always have been. It was great going to the same school with her because we would just spend lunch and recess together and sit next to each other in assembly. And like when I graduated and she stayed, it was like really horrific. Um,
Mm.
in terms of like did I get into trouble? I mean, not more than any average teenager in a small town. But you know what they say? They say devil makes work for idle hands. And I think when you're in a small town, you don't have much to do.
Yeah.
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 Well, I was homeschooled, so I was the most popular kid in my class,
Good for you. Good for
well
you.
as the least popular in my class. My high school experience was a lot different uh, than you'd hope it would be, I guess.
Yeah.
Lonesome, right?